Okay, again, in this session, we are going to see some additional stuff related to EGB. So, in last session, what we have seen is how to create a simple EGB and how to deploy it and how to run it, how to create a EAR file, and how to create a client file to calling your method, and also what is the use of local interface and remote interface. So, everything we have seen in the last session, this is again going to be the same topic, but the thing is, last time, whenever we do a make changes in my EJP, we deployed the code and then we ran the client file. But in my case, I have one client file. I have some business logic. I don't want to be deploy each and every time. I frequently I make too many changes, so I just save it and I need to run it. We do have option in EJP level, but here we are calling the client as a Java Service Packet client. The one which we already created, it's a new, it's very basic Java client, nothing but point retrieving some server. From server we are lookup for some EJP lookup, and from the EJP lookup retrieving the EJP object. That means nothing but your interface name. From the interface you are calling your own APIs. That's a very traditional way. Anyway, while going for enterprise level, we are going to do in that way only. But here, this is an option only for the developer frequently making code changes and they don't want to deploy it immediately. We can go for the service record line. So, to create a Java service record, you need to have a person.xml. It's mandatory. So, I just open the person.xml. You can see it's my person unit which is I'm using in the integrated deployment server. I'm integrated server. So I'm going to create new client. See, when you right click your person icon, you can see an option called new service, new Java service record. Just click create. It will create on client file. Just go for it, and it will take the JDBC connection. I already mapped them my HR default HR DB credentials. Okay, I'm proceed with that. I created only employee entity. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to use employee entity and finish it. Just take a look at your person.xml. I do see some another test unit persistent unit added in my person.xml. This persistent unit which is used only by this Java Service Packet client. Okay, so here look at the difference here. Here I don't have any DB information. Here I have DB information. That means if I don't provide any DB information for database in the details, it has to go to my server and look up for data source names. Here I directly provide the DB information. There is no need for server interference here. Okay. So if you see here, it's nothing but it's normal JDBC connection, JDBC driver and JDBC URL, and what is the host and what is the port number and the service and what is the username and password. Username is system and password is encryption password, encrypted password. If you want, you can directly provide your password. It doesn't matter. You can use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new method. This is my entity manager factory, which is going to use my new position unit. I'm going to create a new method here to retrieve the employee list. I just created a new method. It will return all employee. So emf dot create entity manager factory dot create query. If you know the named query, you can directly provide named query. Anyway, I'm just using create query and directly fetch the data from the entity. So select object from employee object and that get result set. Okay. So I'm going to call this method. This method is going to be return list of employees. List of employees. Let's just call to Java service packet dot emp list. So I'm just going to create a simple for loop to print just the employee name. Employees dot list. It's pretty much straightforward. So SAP employee name e dot Get employee first name. See, I just modified something. I created a method, but I didn't deploy it now. I'm going to directly run it. That's it. It will all the employee names. This is another easiest way to create another client to put all your business strategy together, and you can test it immediately. You don't want to go for a deployment or all, and pretty much the same. If the code is works in the Java service record, you just simply copy and paste it in your EJP bean, and then you can directly go for the deployment, and then it will work. This is just for make your work faster. Okay. Thank you guys. Just give a thumbs up or else give a comment if you have any more clarifications. Thank you.